New Year's resolutions are full of hope and promise, but they often fail, and they fail really fast.
True.
Today is known as Quitter's Day.
Apparently it's a national day now because that's how much it happens. It always falls on the second Friday in January, and it's when many of those goals fall to the wayside. So this morning, MSU Denver professor and clinical psychologist Dr. Randi Smith is joining us. Dr. Smith, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let's just answer the obvious question here. Why do so many of us quit these goals we set for ourselves?
I think because we're not very realistic in the goals that we set.
Okay. Why do you think people hardly stick to them? Is it just it's too elaborate, it's not narrow enough?
That might be part of it.
Okay.
Sometimes the goals are too vague, they're too elaborate, they're too big.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to learn French this year. You're probably not going to learn French in a year. And so you might need to set some smaller goals. You know, I'm going to learn how to ask for the bathroom or something in French, right? And think, you know, and so goals that are sort of time limited and specific will be much more successful than goals that are enormous and vague.
Yeah, let's dive a little bit more into that. Talk about more of these realistic goals, kind of how we can set them short-term, long-term, and give us a few examples if you don't mind.
Yeah, I think we want short-term and long-term, sometimes some stepwise, you know, along the way goals to meet the bigger goal.
Yeah.
So if you want to run a marathon this year, I mean, that's a great goal, but you're going to need to figure out how to get there with these incremental steps. And those need to be time limited. We can be more successful with goals when we have some accountability with another person. So finding someone else who wants to engage in that goal with you, or, you know, hold you to it a little bit, that's a good idea.
So speaking of that, what is a good way to keep yourself accountable, but not beat yourself up if you struggle or if you skip a beat?
Yes, that's such a great question. I think we want to keep ourselves accountable by maybe writing down the specific goal, but also building in some flexibility. Because when we set a goal that is, I'm going to work out every day for the next 90 days, it's probably going to fail. And if we have those kinds of absolute ideas about what constitutes success and what constitutes failure, then we're setting ourselves up, because the first day we miss, then we'll be like, oh, all is lost,
Right.
I'm off the rails, I blew it. But if we can build in flexibility, then we have a much greater success at sticking with it.
Let's stick with that example because that's a really popular goal for a lot of people, to want to work out a little bit more. How can we make that realistic so we can set ourselves up for success?
Yeah, I think building in some flexibility, the idea that you have to be on a streak of working out every single day for the rest of your life is unrealistic. I think building in some social support, if there's another person who can meet you, or maybe you're talking with somebody else about the workout plan, a partner, a family member, somebody across the country even. It doesn't have to be somebody right here with you who can, you know, be involved in your own success. That can be really useful. And also we have apps that can help us maintain accountability.
I feel like so much of it is in the wording, right? Like instead of saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to eat more vegetables. Like that's a little bit more attainable than just, I want to lose 20 pounds.
And making it maybe less of a negative and more of a positive. Like you said, it's not, I want to lose weight. I want to add more of healthy stuff to my diet. I don't want to deprive myself of anything. I want to give myself some of the better stuff.
Yeah, that's a great point, because when we're trying to discontinue something, it can be harder than starting something new. Discontinuing something that we've been doing all our lives, like breaking an old habit, is really difficult, because probably that old habit is rewarding us in some way.
It's so true.
I felt remotivated thanks to Dr. Smith here.
Yes. So don't quit. I know it's Quitter's Day.
We're not going to
Keep
let it happen to us.
Yes.
We're going to at least wait till tomorrow so that we're not a statistic.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. It's
Really
my pleasure.
appreciate it.